tuning into Fast Track to Success. I am beyond thrilled to have a student with us who is a very recent alumni. His name is Enrique. I think he's actually at work today, joining us for this interview. And I'm so excited to dig into his experience. He actually just graduated not that long ago, but I'd love to turn it over to you, Enrique, to just share with us a little bit about your background and what you're up to now.
Thank you, Lauren. Thank you for having me too. So, like you said, my name is Enrique Blanco Joachim, and from the Dominican Republic. I'm a physician. I did internal medicine back home. So I moved to the United States. That was very recently. That was, as a matter of fact, this year. It was in January 2024. When I came, uh, I was initially looking for something to do, really, like, like a compliment. And then that's how I found Fastrack. So I gave it a try. And honestly, I don't regret it, to be honest with you. So, because I have intentionally transitioned from being a physician to right now a clinical research professional.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Remind me. Okay, so Enrique, remind me when you took the class. What month were you in session?
Yes, that was in May this year, 2024. Yes,
In May. And then when did
a
you
couple of months ago.
just a couple of months ago. I know it feels like
Yes,
yesterday. So that was in May.
yes.
And then when did you start your coordinator job?
Good question. I started last month, I mean on August the 6th, right?
Awesome.
That
Oh
was
my
when I
gosh.
started.
And in
Of course,
between, go ahead.
I'm sorry, yeah. I have to highlight that I started, in August because it took me like, 2 months, like the boarding process. Columbia University, they take time. They have to know you. So it took like, 2 months just to know you, to do all the process, the paperwork.
Yeah.
I could have started way before, but it was like, from them because of course it's like, their policy. They had to get to know you. Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
because I remember when you got the interview and you reached out to our team and we did, do you remember? I don't know, we did at least what, 3 or 4 interview preps with you, different people in our team.
Right.
What was that
Right.
process like?
I mean, to be honest, the prep, the time it took us for the prep, it was very, I would say, paramount, uh, to to land in that job because the questions, guys, you asked me during the the prep interviews, these were the same questions I was asked, and then of course, uh, I had the first interview with Columbia University, and right after I had a second one to get to know the team, and after that, a couple of days after that, I had another one. And then I had a fourth one where I received a test, a written test, with 10 questions. And as a matter of fact, all of the questions were the same that I saw during my program, the same questions. Yeah. So
Mhm.
it was easier for me to respond to the questions. And uh, the interviewer was, I mean, she was like, amazed, like, it was super fast. She was like, "Oh, so you know the answer?" I say, "Yes," because it's like deja vu for me. I've seen them before.
You're like, I just studied this. I just prepped for this.
Right, right.
Awesome. All right. So you breeze through a cool 4 rounds of interviews, which
Yes, 4.
you get the offer. Oh my gosh. So tell me a little bit. So you're a coordinator. What do you do? Like, what's your day-to-day look like?
That's a very interesting question because the reason why it's interesting because it's like a fun job, like because I love what I'm doing. Because you come to Colombia and then you have like a team willing to help. In my case, for example, uh, my day-to-day task is as follow. We do the screening. We have like our computers. We do the screening. We work with pregnant women, women who are, of course, pregnant. Uh, Most of the studies have to do with maternal fetal medicine, where we identify who might be a potential candidate for number one, receiving a type of device which name I will mention. because for confidentiality, or patients who might be eligible to, let's say, donate like placenta, so we can, if they can contribute to the scientific knowledge, and then at the same time to identify potential patients who may be undergoing with preeclampsia or hypertension during pregnancy. There's like a lot of studies, but the good point is you're not alone, and then you enjoy doing it. And then of course, one thing I enjoy too is like you have your own lab. You go to a lab, do an experiment, and then 'cause I remember that I was like, man, being a physician, what would that be like to be now a CRC? But when I saw the job I'm doing, it is aligned to my medical background, 100% aligned to it.
So having that background as a physician, you feel like that's been really beneficial to you and transitioning into this coordinator role?
I think if I was a physician, it might have been harder for me to get this position because I'm a physician. On top of that, having like the fact track background in the clinical research, these two combined together have been like I would say the pivotal points to get this position.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I know, especially you're working with, women in this very vulnerable time. They're scared. They're probably worried about the health of their baby and their own health.
Right.
And I'm sure some have a great support system and others probably
Right.
don't. And so having to just navigate even the social aspect of it all and gain their trust to then say, and are you interested in learning about research? It takes
Right.
a certain finesse, so I'm sure your familiarity with working with patients really, really helps out. Do you have like a favorite thing about your job that you love that you like come in every day and you're like, oh, I can't wait to see the patients, or I can't wait to get into the lab, or I love IRB submissions. I want to do more of those. Like what's your favorite thing?
I think the fact that you have access to everywhere, Colombia, like you go anywhere as a CRC, and you work alongside with the physicians and the nurses, and on top of that, you're able to interact, with the patients. I would say being able to have this like approach with number one the patients, and then number two the providers, it makes you feel like you're in a place where you belong, like you're in your environment, and of course, but I usually come earlier because I enjoy the environment. It's like a relaxing environment. You can relax, you can study, and then you don't have this stress, and then people are available to help you. You're never alone. You have this huge team always being willing to help you. It makes you feel like you are in the right place.
Wow, that's beautiful. Well, Enrique, we are so excited for you. We're so beyond proud of you. I can't wait to see, where you go, the changes you make in medicine. I mean, the work you're doing is so, so very important. Would you have any advice for anyone just getting started? It's their first day on the job. What advice do you have for them? I know you haven't been on the job all that long, but looking back to your first day, is there anything you wish you knew?
So besides thanking you for all of these words you just mentioned, I would say they have to be persistent. Of course, myself, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't have any prior research experience besides, my medical expertise. Sometimes we have these challenges, like, oh, uh, there's not that many entry level positions. What can we do? They're asking for experiences. Fake it until you make it. Just keep trying. Man, if you try, I'm sure one of these companies will be happy to hire you because I had to try multiple times. I had to, submit resumes with the help of, the fast track, staff, people like you, my mentors, and then review like, resumes and give me advices. Just keep trying. And then if you did take the fast track class, I'm sure just like me, you'd have like a staff uh, next to you helping you, the mentors. You're never alone. I mean, I was never alone. Of course, looking for a job, like, uh, it can be stressful because sometimes you may feel like, you're alone, but it doesn't look like that. You have to reach out for help. That's what I did.
Beautiful. Well, you have found your way to Columbia University, I mean, world-renowned organization. That's incredible. I mean, the work you are doing is just going to touch the lives of so many. So, again, we are so, so proud of you, and I can't wait to see what you do in the future.
No, thank you so much, Lauren. Thank you so much. Yeah.